episode 20 this week, the court-martial. This one was an odd one. Basically, Captain Kirk had jettisoned a pod that they never explained the purpose of, with a crewman inside, thinking he was on red alert and had no choice. He got to Starbase 11 after this ion storm had passed for repairs. They were prepared to say everything was fine, and then Mr. Spock brought down the ship's recording, and it showed that he had jettisoned it before red alert. So then they were going to court-martial poor Captain Kirk. He had to go to a general court-martial. They had a big trial, big long trial, and it turned out the fellow that they were going to court-martial him for jettisoning it out and killing was alive and well. He'd hidden the ship. No plausible explanation ever given. None at all. The guy's daughter had screamed at Kirk, was angry with him, then begged him to take a ground assignment so he wouldn't have to do anything but, just be demoted. And then she was on board the ship during this trial for no reason at all. None of it explained. None of it. The guy was apparently planning to be jettisoned in this pod and didn't, and then hidden the ship knowing there'd be a general court-martial or something. They never said why. Never said why. They explained he was angry because Captain Kirk had made a report years earlier that caused him to not get a command of his own. Years ago. And now he just now had this when they happened upon an ion storm. It was very strange. Very, very strange. But that's basically what went down. Captain Kirk yanking out wires with electrical sparks flying all around them in engineering as a means of repairing the ship's orbit. The ship was in a decaying orbit. They were going to crash onto Starbase 11. Kirk just started randomly pulling wires out, and they said, "There you go, it's all fixed." Or it sure is. 0 cents made. 0 cents. That's like if a mechanic opens your hood, starts ripping out every wire in the engine, and says, "There you go, your brakes are fine now." And they are. That was the equivalent. Nice episode. It wasn't bad, but very strange. Some interesting notes. No Mr. Scott in this episode. He was not named one of the people aboard ship that could tamper with the ship's computer. Although Mr. Spock and the crewman that was supposedly jettisoned were. But apparently not Scotty. Nor was Scotty there to fix the decaying orbit. Nowhere to be seen. Lieutenant Uhura briefly in the episode, primarily when they played the ship's recording logs. She was basically in a flashback that wasn't truly a flashback. It was odd. It was odd. No Mr. Sulu in this episode. Bones was there. Spock was there playing chess against the computer, which is how he proved that the crewman was actually aboard ship. And Lieutenant Finney had to be aboard ship because Spock lost actually won the chess match against the computer. So he's like, that proves he's alive and hiding on the ship. Very strange. Kirk's lawyer and the prosecutor were something of some odd ducks. But no one said a word about Captain Kirk and the prosecutor having a previous relationship being a conflict of interest in a legal setting. She even demanded he kiss her on the bridge of his ship at the end of the episode. But yet she was the prosecution for Starfleet. You'd think someone would have said something, but they did not. So that's pretty much that episode.